Finally, LG has some competition in the OLED space. Behind me right now is the new Sony Bravia OLED television. It's available in 65 and 77-inch sizes only, and it is definitely a stunner. Now, what's interesting about this OLED is it's actually an LG panel in there, but what makes it different is Sony's processing. Processing makes all the difference in the world. So yes, we're talking about a truly unique television here. Sony's processing, in my opinion, is some of the best out there, and I'm really excited to see it on an OLED TV. I really like the design of this thing. This thing has a really cool stand that kicks back a little bit. It's very much an art piece, but of course, as a flat OLED, you probably want to stick it on your wall as well. Another really interesting innovation for this TV is that the screen itself is the TV speaker. There are no independent speaker drivers anywhere. It uses the display panel itself to vibrate and create sound. We haven't had a chance to give it a listen yet. I'm really excited to check that out, and I think it's a very good idea because when you're talking about such a thin TV, it's hard to fit speakers in there. Sony seems to have come up with a pretty clever idea to address that. First impressions are super positive. I think the motion looks very, very smooth on this television without any of that soap opera effect. That's some of that Sony processing magic I was talking about. Now, it was unclear at one point whether this was going to support both Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10, but it turns out it will support both. HDR10 right out of the box, and then after a firmware update, it will support Dolby Vision as well. That's part of the X1 processor that we've been hearing all about. You'll find that same processor in the Z9D, for instance, that we reviewed earlier this year. So this is kind of interesting. Sony coming out with an OLED after creating that Z9D, which was supposed to be kind of an OLED killer. I think it just shows that OLED is where the TV industry is tending to go. And now Sony has some of that excellent OLED picture quality and perfect black levels that go with it.